Josh and Jay back with the podcast. America is Blue. Might be the single most important podcast we've done in recent memory with the stakes going on in the game tomorrow. But before we get into all the excitement of the U.S. versus Iran, let's do a quick recap of some of the Blues that we've had in action. Jay, per usual, any first words on some of the boys that we've seen kicking the ball around in Qatar?
Yeah, before we get into the meat of this story, dude, there's been some amazing games over the last few days.
Crazy.
I kind of felt at the beginning of this, listen, everybody's jazzed up about this. Everybody loves the World Cup. We're all feeling it. We love it. But, dude, Cameroon, Serbia earlier today, Korea, Ghana, Spain versus Germany was some of the best international soccer I've seen in a long time. I got thorough kicks out of France versus Denmark.
Yeah.
There's been some just amazing games. So this is all great stuff.
No, I mean, it really is awesome. And if I may, I want to give a quick shout out and diving right in. Hakim Ziyech and Morocco winning 2-0. Awesome
Stunner.
Stuff. He had the goal taken away, and I remember texting you right away. I was like, "Oh man, if this thing counts, what a goal!" Unfortunately, he did have it taken off, but he played awesome. I'm really, really pleased for him to see him, getting a chance on the world stage to kick a little ass, and he delivered with the left foot. Hakim Ziyech, boom, delivered.
Dude, isn't it frustrating? Isn't it frustrating, dude? Like,
tough to watch, man.
The America is Blue podcast loves themselves a little bit of Hakim.
We do.
And we're clamoring. We're like, man, we need some creativity up front. We need guys who can go ahead and put the ball in the back of the net in the right positions and get this done. But then we don't use him. But then he sits on the bench and he does nothing. Dude, like, you can say what you want about Hakim Ziyech. I don't know if it's an attitude thing. There's been a lot of managers have kind of shied away from him. There is no denying, and maybe his defense is a little bit sus. There is no denying what this guy can bring when he's got the ball at his feet, whether he's whipping it into a box, he can beat guys off of the dribble. He is a tremendous talent. We need to switch to a 4-3-3. We need to get him up top, and we need to we're going back to the Blues now.
I mean,
dude, amazing performance by him and a stunner over a dying Belgium team, which is terribly disappointing.
It really is. And you know who did not show up is Kevin De Bruyne. He did De Bruyne in that game. Absolutely did nothing. He was did terrible. And I almost felt bad. But yeah, they did not look good. And of course, again, our beloved Eden Hazard, shout out to the Blues legend. He is just a shell of himself. Tough to watch in a lot of different ways. But man, this Belgium team, that golden generation came and went very quickly. They did not deliver, unfortunately, and that window just slammed shut. That goose is cooked.
They look just flat. And yeah, man, dude, I was kind of hoping to see some vintage Eden. I wanted him to dig down. I wanted to see him start getting past guys, make it. Dude, he can't do anything. He's getting stripped off the ball like he's not even there. So really upsetting to see him perform at that level.
Oh.
Listen, Belgium still has a shot to advance. You gotta bench him and put in Trossard. Who the hell would have ever thought that you would be saying that? But yeah, dude, he's done. It's so sad.
Definitely sad. But nonetheless, huge victory for the Moroccans. Shout out to him. We had another 1-0 performance, Thiago Silva as well. Continuing to keep the clean sheets. The guy's just a Rolls Royce of a player, to quote the great Craig Payton, who we've had on the show in the past. But, I mean, he is fantastic. Continuing to lead the Seleção, who are going to advance to the round of 16 with relative ease. They took care of business again against Switzerland. Not too much else to say about him. Exactly the performance you'd expect.
Yeah, no, he's the man. We don't have to. We go there. We're all over his jockstrap every time we speak about him. I think everybody gets the point. No Dennis Zakaria, no Kai, and no Dave.
I mean,
not all surprises. Kai maybe.
maybe. I mean, look, we didn't expect to see Dave. That was expected. No Dennis. I got to be honest. I don't follow the Swiss as much. Nonetheless, disappointing. I would have liked to see him logging some minutes and some time. But no Kai. That rings out pretty loud. And
no confidence.
Especially
no confidence.
with him, leading the line to open things, not even getting on the pitch in game 2. Signs on the Kai Havertz train are down. Not great. I hope that he can resurrect something. I don't know exactly what Die Mannschaft planned to do in game 3, but they've got work to do to get out of their group. And Germany, up until 2018, they had never not gotten out of the group at any point in their history. 2018 was the first time that they didn't. If they now go back-to-back World Cups without getting out of the group after winning in 2014, as recently as 14, that's a troubling sign for that squad, who is legendary for a lot of different reasons. But they got to get out of the group, and they got their hands full.
Bro, if you were going to try to make that bet, 8.5 years ago, dude, the odds would have been ridiculous. They would have been ridiculous, like 5,000 to 1. No way Germany doesn't advance 2 World Cups in a row. Speaking of them, dude, that guy Musiala is a beast. That kid is awesome. Amazing. So I'll give him a little bit of a shout. One other man I want to give a shout, and he does tie back to our beloved Blues. Olivier Giroud. I got to talk about Olivier Giroud for a minute. Not only is his hair always impeccable, not a strand,
handsome.
Dude, not a strand of miss ever, no matter what he's up to. Can we officially say that he might be the most unappreciated striker of all time? Dude, did you see that? He's the top goal scorer in French history. Now, Mbappe is going to clean him up on that if he stays healthy. But as it stands right now, he is tied for the top goal scorer in French history with all of their tremendous strike forces in the past. And chances are, I mean, this may be some of his last international duty. Who knows? I mean, he's not a young man anymore. But, dude, this guy, for a period of time, could be at the top of those charts. The most underappreciated striker of all time, Olivier Giroud.
I mean, that's not a bad take. And I got nothing but agreement with you, because he's always been sort of second choice. He's the guy that, I mean, everywhere he's been at every single point, he's never really been the man. And in 2018, when they won the World Cup, he started every game with no Benzema and didn't even score. So he played 7 World Cup games last go round with nary a goal. But now he's back on the score sheet. We saw him, score 4 in one game in the Champions League. God bless him. He's got some legendary goals. He scored the crazy Scorpion goal. He shows up at Wimbledon. He's the guy. I mean, lot to say positively about Olivier Giroud, and who is liked in 2 parts of London, which is rare, because I would challenge a Blues fan to really come at Olivier in terms of what he delivered for us. And, Arsenal fans can't talk smack about him. So good on him. Says a lot about the character of the man, and good on you bringing some light to Olivier. Congratulations.
Incredible. And, dude, at this point in the World Cup, if my math is correct, we only have 3 teams going into the last game of the bracket stages who have advanced. Dude, there's everything to play for, not only for the red, white, and blue, but for so many teams who, with a coin flip, a ball hit, and a little nick of grass and going the wrong way, who are going to be advancing into the final 16 or going home. Dude, there's so much on the line.
Have been amazing. The group stage has been incredible. Like,
great stuff.
Look at Group B. I mean, look at us. I mean, Wales, England, everybody. I mean, it's nuts. So, God bless. And before we do get into the big Group B matchup, we do have to give a shout out to Mateo Kovacic for holding down the Croatian midfield in his 4-1 shellacking of Canada, our neighbors to the north. Canada, they got the early goal from Alphonso Davies, which was tremendous, and then a whole lot of nothing. So,
dude, it's a curse. Dude, you score early on in a game, man, you're doomed. You're doomed. It never
Wow.
works out. You score early, dude, that other team's going to have a chance to settle in. You're feeling so good, you're getting amped up, and then you just crash and burn. It happens so often.
All
Don't
right.
want an early goal. Don't want an early goal.
Well, I'd take it if we score one tomorrow.
We'll
That
see.
being said, let's just get right into it. Tomorrow, 2 p.m. Eastern Time. 2 p.m. Eastern Time. The red, white, and blue. The Americans suiting up against Iran. Jay, everything is on the line. It's so simple. Everybody can do this. Win or go home. A draw will not do under any circumstance. It absolutely has to be a win. Jay, the last time we played last time we played Iran, 24 years ago. World Cup, 1998. Lost 2-1 to send us out of the World Cup in 98. So not only do we have the geopolitical things, which we will leave on the shelf for the time being, but we have a literal revenge game here. We're talking World Cup circumstances. We haven't played these guys in 24 years on the international level, and last time they kicked us out of this thing that we're in right now. We are purring. We better get a win. We better make a statement for a number of reasons. But let's hear what you think initially going into this bad boy tomorrow at 2 p.m.
I'm hyped.
I am hyped.
I'm concerned.
Yes.
We can't score. Taremi has scored twice the amount of goals that the entire men's national team has scored in this tournament. From what I have seen of Iran, even as bad as they were, and by the way, did you not see the Tyler Adams interview? You got to start pronouncing Iran the right way. It's Iran. Okay, get it right. Anyway.
Iran.
They're a dangerous team. They're quick on the counter. As bad as they started against England, the goals that they scored were nice.
Yes.
Right? Against Wales, it was a little bit of a stodgy game, and then boom, they just turned it on. Beautiful goals. So that's one component of it. I look back at the U.S. men's national teams, their friendlies in recent history. Dude, we are a defensive posturing team. We cannot score. We had one game where we had multiple goals. I think out of the last 10. That may be wrong. But I think maybe, or was that the last 8? Either way, we can't score. They appear to like they can score. We need to be full force and be creative. We need to attack because we have to win. We have to be on the front foot. We can't sit on our laurels and play for a tie. We have to go and put the pedal down to the metal, and we got to put it to them. And I hope this is not what Greg Berhalter does, man. Dude, his entire mindset throughout this process has been very defensive, very compact, and we have not shown a lot of creativity up front. And we've been hoping that we are going to finish on one of a handful of opportunities, and we just haven't been able to do it because our striking has not been clinical. This cannot be the case. We have to take every bullet, empty it out of the canister.
You took my notes. You took my notes, dude, because
great minds.
My whole thing was just there's no time to figure it out. There's no time to feel your way through it and then hopefully make a mad dash in the second half. No. Right from the jump, lay the marker down. To your point, throw every punch, throw every kick, shoot every bullet, throw every dart, whatever you got. I mean,
any projectile you have in arms, just throw it.
Shovel, whatever you have, an airing. I mean, anything you can get your hands on, you got to go to war with that. And I think, to your point, we're both on the same page. It's everything. There's nothing to figure out. There's no jabs. There's no caution. Everything is completely balls to the wall right from the get-go. And screw these guys, man. We got to show up. I don't care who we're playing. We got to show up. There's no other choice. Completely backs against the wall situation. No excuses. Everybody knows what the outcome has to be, and everyone has to act and play accordingly. Nothing else to say.
Yeah. I have a lot of confidence in seeing what this team has brought to the table in the last 2 games, that those guys will bring it. They're going to bring it. It's whether they have what it takes to be able to get it over the line and finish the job. We'll see. We'll see. This was always going to be, I'm going to get a little bit negative here. This was always going to be a heated battle, right? Iran's been playing feisty throughout the tournament. So this was always going to be a clashing of two, I don't want to call them titans, but these are two sides that don't like each other. There is the political side of this. Dude, this is going to be a feisty, drag it out type game. What I'm really upset about, what's been driving me crazy over the last couple of days, is with all that's going on, and with our guys and their guys putting it out on the field, right? You've been prepping for this thing for 4 years. These are young men's hopes and dreams. They've been thinking about this for their entire lives to have this opportunity, a winner-take-all type game. Who in their right mind goes ahead and defaces the flag of Iran right before the game? Whoever did this, I don't know how far up this goes the chain. I don't know if this is just some lowly, schmucky nerd in somebody's basement just thinking that he's funny by making a political statement. You could, right? I'm no friend of Iran in here, right? Like, okay, like there's a lot of issues. That said, what they did, the symbol that they took off of their flag, is going to offend some portion of the 2 billion Muslims that occupy this planet.
I mean,
including Muslims that live in the United States. So we can say what we want. They don't like us as a country. We don't like them. Whatever. That's not my problem. This is about sporting interests. This is about a game that we love and we want to enjoy. And when you start to bring your political bullshit to the table and make that bleed onto this pitch, I am furious at whoever did that. And then on top of that, you got whatever this, I don't even know if this is fabricated, Berhalter asking Rain at a lie, and then Jurgen Klinsmann been going after him. Can all these people just fuck up? Just zip it. Just zip your mouths and let these guys go out there and do what they're supposed to do. And as fans, don't bring the problems of the world that we are plagued with on a daily basis to this. Let us enjoy this. This is our escape away from that. Please just shut your mouths and let these boys go and play. It's just really unfortunate that this is all these guys have had to speak about for the last 48 hours is this shit, as opposed to what they should be focusing on, which is the task at hand.
100%. Absolutely agreed. Climate aside.
Had to get that out. Get that out. So annoying.
Climate aside, they do have a game to play, and, that's the definition of bulletin board material as well. Talk about galvanizing your squad. That's pretty good way to do it. But moving ahead, I want to get into some lineups. We're talking about, without being hyperbolic, the biggest game in U.S. soccer history in the last 20 years. There's no doubt about it. Without a doubt, biggest one. Got to make this happen. There's only one guy that we can put in the net right now. That's obviously Mr. Turner. He'll be back there. And then I think you're going to feel the exact same way. When you keep a clean sheet against the English, you march the same 4 guys back out there. So I don't think any person on earth is going to argue with Dest, Zimmerman, Ream, and Jedi Robinson.
Certainly not I. Certainly not I. You got to keep them out there. And let's just not be boring here. You're keeping them in there, and you're keeping MMA in there. Nobody in the right, unless McKinney's dinged up or something, and you want to put in Aronson. That is the only reason. If McKinney, for any reason after that England game, and there was no reason to believe that he would not be fit, you have to throw your best dudes out there. Those are our 3 best midfielders. We need them all out there.
100% agreed. Absolutely, positively. Tyler Adams, far and away the leader of this team, continues to show it on every single possible level. Eunice is our most young and exciting player. And if Weston McKennie plays the same way that he did against England and he has the fitness, I'm telling you, and this is my hot take on this, and I'll get right into it now. I am telling Weston McKennie, if I'm Greg Berhalter, give me the 60th or the toughest 60 minutes of your life, because I want McKennie subbed off quick. I want to get the absolute best out of him. And the second his level starts to drop or he's jeopardized for a possible round of 16, I am telling Weston McKennie, you are playing 60 minutes. And I want you to play your 60 minutes like you have never played in your life, because I want Aronson on the pitch early, because I think that's the other thing Burkhalter can't afford to do. Make your subs quick. No futzing around. Like there's no wait until the 75th minute and all this other stuff. No. Like if we need to make changes or something needs to happen, make them fast. But again, to be absolutely clear, I'm totally with you. MMA midfield, Aronson is absolutely my first substitute for Weston McKennie. I'm telling Weston McKennie, give me your best 60 minutes.
100%. I'm 100% with you. And yeah, dude, I think we said this before. We said it before the England game also. The substitutions. If we're bringing guys to the party that maybe just don't have, they're coming out with 90%, get whatever you can out of them and be quick on the trigger. Even if we're playing well, even if it looks like we have all the flow, dude, you can't wait for them to break down, because with this team, dude, one break, one counterattack, some guy slowing up, some guy pulling up his quad a little bit, dude, they're gone. They're gone. And next thing you know, you're down. So I'm 100% with you. Back for midfield, and again, man management. Man management. If you're seeing somebody slow down, if you're seeing them off the pace a little bit, we do have enough depth on this team to be able to get another very quality player in there, specifically at the positions that might be a concern.
Agreed, man. Agreed. So tell me your front three. You got any changes? I do a little bit.
I have some changes off of who they've been putting out there. Pulisic has to play.
100%.
He has to play. If you are Captain America, you have to vanquish the enemy. So go and do that, please. Gio Reyna has to play. I don't know what the hell's been going on. I don't know what drama or what bullshit's been going on behind the scenes. Dude, this kid says he's fit. He was playing for Borussia Dortmund prior to this tournament. If you guys have an issue, okay, please don't mess this up. Get him in there, because we need to score. And he's going to be one of those guys that's going to allow us to do that. So please, Gio Reyna. And I'm going to surprise you, I think, with my striker pick, so I'm going to hold off.
Okay. Well, interestingly enough, I've got the same two guys in there for the same reason you just said. I mean, it's got to be Pooley for all those other reasons. And he did. He played really well against England. There's no reason to take him off. It's not like, oh, well, you got to play him. No, he's in form. He's cooking. He had the assist. We got to keep him on there. Gio Reyna is potentially the best prospect on the entire roster. I mean, he's obviously capable of doing fantastic things. He's super young. He's the guy that's going to get the pass. He's the guy that's going to unlock, the defense. He's actually also another guy who can come up and receive the ball and create a little something in midfield if he has to. He will dribble at somebody. We need people who are going to take people on, especially when you're going against Iran. Come
on.
When you're going against Iran, you got to have some more creativity, especially when you have to win. So we are both in complete agreement at the wingers. Now that you set it up, you teased it so well. I'm waiting with bated breath. Who do you have leading the line, Jay?
All right. So as I was going through this, I'm like, do we go back with Haji Ray? This isn't the game for Haji. Last game was a game for Haji. Not this game. This is not the game for Haji. So Haji's out. So now I'm like, my Brooklyn boy. Do we put him way up there? Almost kind of like false nine-ish, although he can do it. And as much as I love my Brooklyn boy, I'm like, I don't think that's what we need. I think we need a Sargent. I think we need that messy, nasty, not going to do anything flashy, but he's just going to tumble toward the net and a ball's going to go off his right hip and it's going to go in. It's just going to be gross. It's going to be gross. I think Sargent's going to score in this game. Okay, we'll get to that. It'll contribute to the prediction. Sargent's going to score in this game, and it is going to be one of the ugliest deflected goals ever. It's going to come off of a joint. It's going to come off of something, and it's going to be almost unintentional, and he's going to score in this game. Sargent leading the line, reporting for duty.
I mean, I love the call. He's got the name for it. But I'm actually saying that Haji is the right man for the job. I'm actually sticking with him. I'm hoping if I have my way and we have Gio Reyna and Pooley up front, I think his ability to hold the ball up is going to serve them well moving forward. So again, I am going to stick with Haji. I think him, Weston McKennie, Pulisic, they've got the vibes. They've still got, those American youth system victories that they can call upon. Hopefully they can summon all those good vibes up and really put out a positive performance tomorrow. It is unbelievable. My anxiety levels are crazy. We've been through Super Bowls with the New York Giants. We've been through Champions League finals. We've been through Europa League finals. We've been through FA Cup finals. All sorts of sporting championship scenarios. Nothing really compares to your national team marching out at the World Cup. It really is a special thing. It's unbelievable.
I agree. All right, so who do you got? Who do you got?
Well, it's not a question of who. It's by how many. And I have to say, if we kept a clean sheet against the English, we only gave up a bad penalty to Wales, I think we can keep Iran off the score sheet. Gonna get a goal from an unexpected player, maybe a Dest, maybe it's an Anthony Robinson, somebody that you wouldn't expect necessarily to get on the score sheet's going to get on, and you're going to get a goal from a star player, from a Pulisic, from a Gio Reyna. 2-0, United States of America.
So, full out, there's no way I can't. Even if I didn't want to, there's no way I'm picking Iran either. There's no way. I'm not doing it. I think this is going to be a dangerous game.
It is.
I think this is going to be 2-1 for the red, white, and blue. I already predicted Sargent's going to just duff one in. It's going to come off his tailbone or something. And I think I agree with you. Dude, this would be, and I'm calling it from my heart here for the guy. This could be the Christian Pulisic moment. This could be it. It's like, whatever happens after this, the fact that you made it past the group stage for the United States, that's a huge victory for us. This isn't something that, we just walk into. We're not a Spain. We're not one of these other huge countries that just constantly are expected to go through. This is a big deal for us. So I'll just come out. So Sargent, Pulisic are both going to score. I think we are going to give one up. I think it's going to be a really choppy, dicey game. The other thing that I think we just have to be wary of, we have to be careful of the fouling and the chippiness and whatever else, because what I don't want to see happen here on either side of this is that this game ends up being determined because the referees are forced to do some things that would change the flow and change the outcome. But 2-1, red, white, and blue.
Well, glad that we're at least on the same page with this one. I am so excited for the game tomorrow. I hope everybody gets to watch under the best possible conditions. Gets a chance to enjoy it. I know I'm really looking forward to it. Jay and I will be back tomorrow night with a breakdown of the performance. We really look forward to chopping that up. Hopefully we're talking about who our next opponent's going to be in the round of 16. But until then, everybody have a great night. We will talk to you tomorrow. Go USA. USA. America is blue.